Hello, my name is Robert Tinkham and I'm the health agent for the town of Carver. I am joined today by Mr. Dan Daly from Plymouth County Mosquito Control. Last year, Dan and I appeared in front of you to talk about the mosquito problem in southeastern Massachusetts. Sadly, it appears as though mosquitoes will once again be a problem in southeastern Massachusetts. Last year, we focused a lot on what you could do to protect yourself against mosquitoes. The 3 P's of mosquito protection: protect, protect, protect. Today's show is going to focus on what you can wear personally to protect yourself against mosquitoes. There are many sprays out there, many aerosols, many pump containers, but most people don't understand exactly what those sprays do. So we're lucky to have Dan here today from the Mosquito Control Project of Plymouth to talk about those. Mr. Daly, maybe you could share with our residents some information about mosquito repellents.
Well, Bob, thank you very much. And an important mission is to bring this message to people out there. And I'm going to start, though, I'm going to give people a formula to remember this summer.
Excellent.
And the formula is R plus 7 equals M. Rain plus 7 days equals mosquitoes. We seem to have had very recently a significant amount of rain, so I think by this, of course, today is the 17th, and as we're recording this, and by this Friday, there will be, if they're not already, significant hatch-off of mosquitoes out there. And at the project, we do our best to get to those sites, to treat those sites when we can, to eliminate those sites. And certainly we are answering the phone quite a bit right now as people are asking us to come into their neighborhoods to spray for the adult mosquitoes. But no matter what we do, we cannot eliminate mosquitoes. We can reduce the population significantly, but we can't eliminate them. So that makes it really important to use a good repellent when you're going out. And there's an awful lot of stuff out there on the shelves, and it's really important, especially down here with EEE, West Nile virus, that we make sure we're using a repellent that's going to work for us. And the first and most important part of that message I would give to people, and you'll be seeing this on the screen at some point, is look for an EPA registration number on that product. If it has an EPA registration number on it, you know the claims have been tested by the EPA, and the EPA has found them to be accurate, and they've allowed them to have that registration number. You will find products out there that kind of indicate they could help. They can't make specific claims because they've never been tested by the EPA. And so what I have are some products that you're going to find out there. And a lot of people think that only products that have DEET are effective. Now, certainly DEET is the gold standard. There's no question about that. But even within DEET, there are percentages of DEET that you have to take a look at. Are you trying to protect yourself for 2 hours? Are you trying to protect yourself for 8 hours? Are you looking for a little additional protection from ticks? So take a close look at the percentage of DEET that's on there. But there are other products out there. And I have a list, not that you're going to be quizzed on it, but although I can pass the quiz on protect, 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 I'm all set if you want to quiz me on that later. I know the 3 Ps.
I think we're both geniuses on that.
But one of the ones you're going to see is something called Picaridin. It may on the can say KBR 3023, doesn't make any difference. It's a product that's been used in Europe for years, and the World Health Association has a lot of good things to say about Picaridin. Even now, I hate to mention specific companies that make it, but Avon Skin So Soft is making a bug repellent that has Picaridin in it. So they've become a believer in it. And as you know, I'm a frequent trip person to Spain.
Yes, it's true.
In Spain, Picaridin is the primary repellent that you're going to find over there.
Thanks.
There's another product that's becoming very common now too. It's called IR 3535. And this is a biopesticide. It's all natural. So if you want something that's all natural and still has that EPA registration number on it, IR 3535 is something you can choose to get. And once again, it has the EPA registration number, and the claims that it makes have been proven out to the EPA. Another one out there that's also an all-natural product is something called oil of lemon eucalyptus. Now, oil of lemon eucalyptus, not to be confused with some others that are out there, is something called oil of lemongrass that's being marketed as a repellent. I don't know if it works or not, but they've never taken it to the EPA to test the claims of the product. But this oil of lemon eucalyptus is very effective, and I don't know if you want to say it's a downside to it, that has quite an odor to it.
Okay.
I was up at, actually it was Walmart, and last year, and I had never tried oil of lemon eucalyptus, so I put a little on my wrist, and as I walked through the store, people were turning around looking
at you.
And when we got to my car, I had to put the windows down. But it is effective if you like the smell of lemon. And the good thing is, if you're out, let's say you're camping, you have your children with you, and you spray them, they'll never get lost. You will find them no matter where they hide, because you'll track them down with the odor of this lemon eucalyptus. And again, like IR 3535, it's an all-natural product.
Excellent.
If you like that. Another one, PMD, or P-methane 3,8-diol, is another one. You say, you look at that name, so that's really strange. I wonder if that works. Once again, that will have an EPA registration number on it, so you know the claims are accurate. I listed a couple for you that are not for skin application, but to put on, one for clothing, and that's Permethrin.
Okay.
And most people know about that, and you could put it on your pants, whatever, and then put them on after they dry out. And it not only will repel mosquitoes and ticks, but it'll kill them. There's one I just really took some time to research this year called Metafluthrin. If you've been down to any store and you've seen those little round gadgets you can put on a belt.
Sure, yes.
And you can walk around with that.
The clip-ons, yes.
And my first thought was when I saw them, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to walk around with that and it's going to work. Well, then I picked it up and actually looked at it, and there was the EPA registration number on it. So I had to do a little bit more research, and apparently this Metafluthrin will repel 97% of mosquitoes. So I guess there are two major points on this I want to make. One is look for the EPA registration number, and number two, it does not have to be DEET to be effective. Not to knock DEET, but there are some people that have, they don't like the feel of DEET on their skin, and they're worried about if they recoat, am I going to do some damage? And so some people feeling that way have stayed away from using repellents altogether, and you don't have to do that. Again, we have the natural products, we have alternatives to DEET. Just look for that EPA registration number.
I've always been skeptical of the clip-ons, Dan. I'm concerned if do they go head to toe? How do they work? A drift of a slight wind? Does the clip-on protect the entire body? I guess is my concern with the clip-on.
Well, if you're using something to spray on or rub on, I know that if you leave an area open the size of a dime, they can find you.
Right.
We have to go back. How does a mosquito find you in the first place?
The heat, right? Isn't it heat?
First of all, it's one thing we all have to do.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Right.
So we're looking at the CO2.
Right.
And now you're on the radar screen. They know there's a target in the area. And then it's the smell. And they can come in. All bodies. I'm not saying anything
So my
about
cologne?
you.
They're going to pick up my cologne?
That might actually work in your favor. But yeah, all of us give off certain odors, some more than others, obviously. And so it's those odors that they come in on. So this has to work to try to mask whatever's going on. The only thing I found that was online that suggested there may be some chinks in this armor is if you're out really moving fast. You're taking a fast walk, you're out jogging, you're wearing one of these, you may be protecting the person behind you more than yourself. But if you're sitting around, that's what the claims say, that it should be effective. But so that's my story on that. But there are a lot of products out there. Use them. Really be cautious if you're seeing the repellents out there that don't have that EPA registration number on it. Perhaps they work, perhaps they don't. And the stakes are so high that I would think that you'd want to make sure you were using an effective product.
Right, and I think Dan brings up a good point. Look at the labels of the products you're buying. We get many calls at the Board of Health in Carver about children. At what age can I stop putting a DEET spray on my son or daughter? Or should a baby have a spray with DEET on it? I'm sure that the label has all that stuff spelled out.
All of it. I mean, I think that's the other thing that really is important, that people have to follow the labels. And now if you go on our website, Plymouth County website, and I think you have a link to it.
We do, on the Board of Health's website,
So
yes.
it's plymouthmosquito.org, and near the bottom of the page, we have a link to our repellents and basically all our services and how to get in touch with us. But if you go on the repellents page, I have links to other organizations that talk about putting repellents on young children. And so you can go on there and see what the pediatricians have to say about it. And that might make people feel more comfortable.
Dan, what are some of the services the Plymouth County Mosquito can offer the residents?
Well, if somebody this time of year thinks they have a breeding site nearby that we don't know about, we think we have a real good handle on the breeding sites in all 28 communities that are part of our project. But they call us, we will come out, and we will check that site, and if we find breeding, we will treat it with something called BTI, which is pretty much designed right for mosquitoes and some black flies, but specifically mosquitoes. And we'll treat it. And if we
Does
can...
it treat the live mosquito or the larvae?
We're getting at the larvae.
The larvae stage.
Yeah,
okay,
once in the larval stage, it's effective, and now they're in by the hundreds of thousands in a small area at that stage, so much easier to get than when they hatch off and become adults. Much easier. So we'll do that. If you want us to come out and you're having a function at your house, you're having a big party or something, and you want to reduce the number of mosquitoes, we'll come out and spray the area.
How does a resident get their home sprayed, Dan?
Well, just
What
give
kind
us
of
a call.
requests can they make? Just give me.
They just pick up the phone, call us at 781-585-5450, and just tell us when the event is, when they'd like us to come. And it doesn't just have to be for an event. If you're having a hard time getting out the back door to the grill, you know,
Right.
that's something that we're happy to do. We also provide speakers. If you're having something you want to know more about mosquito control, you can contact us, and I'm the one that will show up. But, so we do that. I've been into a lot of schools
Right.
in recent years. I've been into a lot of councils on agings recently because of, at first it was a captive audience, but when you're over 50, some of these viruses are even scarier than when you're under it, and that certainly would be my case, and all my brothers and sisters in the COE.
I think one of the caveats is that should you have your property sprayed by Plymouth County Mosquito Control, it's not the cure-all. They still
isn't.
need to protect themselves as individuals
Absolutely.
against me.
Absolutely.
So many people want to call the office and say, I want my property sprayed, then I don't have to worry about putting a spray on myself. That's absolutely not true. You need to protect yourself every time you are outside. The 3 Ps, protect, protect, protect. We at the Carver Board of Health have taken some outstanding steps to try to help our residents. We've worked closely with the school department as well as the recreation department to put bans on at dusk when the state has asked us to put a ban on for a mosquito problem. Triple E and West Nile virus are terrible, terrible, terrible diseases. I would not wish anyone to get sick from that. We always want to protect our residents and our citizens. The recreation department has a spray to play policy, which we work with them. That is, the children spray themselves in front of a coach before they go onto the field. I just can't emphasize enough. You put your son or daughter in the car and you buckle their safety seat, and that's a wonderful thing. You have to do that. Also put spray on them. When they walk out the door, please put spray on them. It's very important they protect themselves every day. The Mosquito Project does a tremendous job helping our residents, but it's still up to the individual and the individual families to protect the children and people in your household. We can only do so much. Dan and I are very personable. We'll help you any way we can, but we still rely on you to help us so that no one in your family or friends or anybody in the town of Carver or in Southeastern Massachusetts for that matter come down with these dreaded diseases. Dan, in conclusion, a couple more things about Plymouth County Mosquito Control that you think people might need to know. I think you've done a great job so far. Any last parting word about mosquito protection?
Well, a couple of things. We have a lot of people call us, want to know how much it costs for us to come out to their property, and it doesn't cost anything. You've already paid. You're part of the project, the 28 towns, whether we come out to spray or check for mosquito breeding sites. That's no additional charge for that. And if you want us to spray and you can talk some of your neighbors into submitting requests at the same time, that's much more effective. So if we can get a whole neighborhood, that would be a wonderful thing to do. But we don't just go out and randomly spray people. You do have to call.
We also recommend at the Board of Health in Carver that sometimes the phone lines to Plymouth County Mosquito Control are always busy. There's also a fax number. People can fax their requests in. Is that also true?
That's absolutely true.
Right,
and to get all this information, go on our mosquito website. And again, the link is on Carver Board of Health, but it's also plymouthmosquito.org. All the information is there about our products, what we use. If we come out and spray, what are we using? How much do we use? The fact is we use 1/2 ounce per acre to be sprayed. It leaves no residue. So when your family gets up and goes out, we're gone, and there's nothing you have to worry about. You don't have to wash off toys or anything like that. So, but for any more information, for detailed information, go to our website. It's all there.
And at the Board of Health in Carver, we have flyers out for both mosquitoes and tick problems. Feel free to come. It's public information. We have nice little packets my lovely secretary has made up for residents to come and get. It's also on our website. As Dan has said, it's on his website. Anything else, Dan, before we wrap this up?
Great job, Bob. Thank you for having me down.
I just want to emphasize, Dan and I are pretty personal. We like to have a lot of fun. Mosquito problems are not fun. Triple E and West Nile are serious, serious illnesses. You have the ability to stop your son, your daughter, your family, your friends from being bitten by mosquitoes. Please take every opportunity to protect yourselves. Protect, protect, protect. And with that, I will sign off and wish everyone a wonderful summer. Thank you.